Hello, my name is Gerry Lewy, and I'm going to be starting a new mini-series on setting a 4-claw prong engagement ring. What you've seen in my previous videos of showing you this little awl, A-W-L, I can never say it right, I'm going to put it in the center of the 4 claws and bring them back a bit more. Why? It's because I don't want my burr to be hitting the other claws while I'm working on it. Now you can use this little awl, or you can use a pair of pliers just like this and bring it back a tad more. I want to free up the other claws from the rotating burr. I only want to work on one claw only. I don't want to endanger the layout of all the other claws. But my teacher said to me many years ago, about 45, 50 years ago, my God, time flies. He said, Gerry, I don't care what you use. You can use a knife and fork. You can use a pair of pots and pans to set a diamond. But as long as the darn thing works and the company is happy. Well, in this case, I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to initiate a cutting for the bearing using a bud burr. Probably a 006 or 007 bud burr. Nothing larger than that. Come down. Just checking with the camera, it was working okay. You can see I'm just going to cut into the claw, little increments. How far in do I go? I'm going to go in half of the width of the burr. In other words, half the burr is still being exposed. I'm going to use this method as a guide when I use my high-speed steel burr. Because if I don't, that burr will be flopping all over the place and it won't look nice. I'll give you an example. If you're doing it this way, you're going to be going all over and you won't have any guide or stop to prevent it from doing that. So I'm going to put that little bud burr in and I'm going to cut down. And now no way can I go over that bud burr cut. I think it's a pretty darn good idea. It saved myself a lot of bother. And you can see that I'm going in. I'm cleaning it all the time with my special brush. It's called a toothbrush. You can buy them cheap in a drugstore. But you gotta make sure all the toothpaste is off it. I joke around a bit. And whoops, there's that. Burr is not too close to me. Could move it back a bit more. Make sure that line or groove is parallel to the tip of the claw. And it's coming down at the same distance between the tip of the claw to bearing with my bud burr is going to be the same. You don't have to measure it with a millimeter gauge. In Canada we use millimeter gauges. In America they use inches. I don't know why you don't change over to the digital system, but that's what you want. So let's go back to this. Removing all of this grunge and silver, and you could see how it looks now. You can see that little groove. That's what I'm aiming for, and that has to be the same distance from the groove to the tip all the way around. Remember, the first 5,000 rings are only practice. After 5,001, then they get out to serious work. Now I'm going to change my burr very quickly. Don't waste time on the video. I'm using my high-speed steel burr, pre-selected. I'm only going to work on the claw that's closest to me. There, it's done. It's working pretty darn good. And you can see the difference. Well, that's the guy over here. Keep the burr oiled at all times. I'm only using the underneath part of the burr to do the actual cutting. Now there's another thing I would like to show you right now, is that while you're doing the cutting, you're also making a seat for the crown facets. By you coming up and hitting the burr, as you're going up and down motion, you're going to be using these teeth to give you a place on the claw for the star facet and the upper part of facets up from the girdle without even realizing this. So we're going in and out, up and down, and you're letting this part of the claw, of the burr, hitting the upper part of the groove when made the bud burr. So it's turning around very nicely. And that's what I'm going to show you for now. It looks pretty darn good. I'm happy with it. How long did that take? Just a few moments. But you have to remember, and this is the